Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. Of course, live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, half of which is coming to you straight from my new corporate office here. Hold on a second, Larson. I have to pause this podcast here. Yes, sir. Hello. I would like to see if you're interested in a new car warranty.
Well, here's the thing.
No? Okay.
I would not be surprised at some point if you go like, hold on, Larson, I have to go use the bathroom. You just don't bother showing back up.
Rumor has it that actually happened at some point.
No rumor. That's truth.
That's a shoot. Walk me through that.
Yeah, that's a shoot right there. That's a shoot,
anyway,
brother.
So yeah, I'm still I'm still sans power at my house. I'm checking the SMUD outage map every 5 seconds, though, because I'm going to be regardless. I'm going to be sleeping there tonight. Yeah. Well, the rest of my family's going to be sleeping here, my sister's house, in their spare room. But I don't like leaving my dog all by herself at the house. So I'm going to grin and bear it. It's going to be like 32 degrees in that house.
You better get like a beanie on, about 10 blankets.
Yeah. It's going to suck, man. I'm hoping my dog will
get an oil drum, put some newspapers in there, light that on fire.
Yeah.
Do whatever you got to do.
That's a great idea.
To keep yourself
warm.
That's a great idea. Keep yourself warm.
Man, yeah, this sucks. But here we are. We're making do. Of course, we're going to talk about AEW for the Twitch subs out there. The Steve notes are out there, so you can take a look at those. If you're a new Twitch sub, make sure you have your notifications turned on, and make sure Twitch isn't sending your spam folder our emails, and you'll get access to all the bonus stuff that we offer up on Friendo Club TV.
Today. Sorry.
Go ahead, Larson.
Okay.
You uploaded it. What do we do today?
I was going to say today, since Steve is not at his place, we decided to wait on Ask Steve and Larson. Hopefully we get a chance to do that tomorrow. Instead, Classic 10 for the win went up today. Usually they'll go up Thursdays, but again, since things are a little different, it went up today. Top 10 worst movies. It's got a really fun intro to it. So if you're a YouTube channel member, a patron, Twitch sub, please go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd appreciate the support. It's a great way to support Going Wrong. So we are 1 week out from, I think, right? Beach break? That's next week, right?
Wednesday. Yeah, correct. Correct.
There's nothing close to like beach weather out here where I am, man. No, it's like Arctic freeze. That's what they should call this.
Well, I mean, it's not here in Northern California. It's in Jacksonville. Maybe it's much warmer there. I mean, it's cold. It's cold here because there's a really cold, cutting wind. And you know me, cutting. I hate wind. Oh, I hate wind so much.
Cutting like a diamond cutter.
It really does. So it feels for Northern California really cold. I mean, it's nothing like the Midwest where you go out in the evening and it's 30 below zero. There's been times where I've been in that. That's no fun. This is a different type of cold, though. So, yes, anyways, we had AEW to keep us company tonight. I thought it was a really fun show. The main event was a lot of fun. You can tell Gallows and Anderson are having a ton of fun doing this Bullet Club stuff with Kenny and the Young Bucks. They seem really invested. They're having a blast. The show, top to bottom, I thought was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Let's go back. Let's rewind and talk about what you just mentioned, because I feel like that's probably going to be on the thumbnail. I mean, yes, we could put Shaq Diesel on the thumbnail because it's been confirmed that him and Jade Cargill are going to be taking on Cody and Red Velvet on March 7th at Revolution. But at Beach Break, the Young Bucks, it was announced during the show that the Young Bucks and all the other great tag teams there at AEW are going to be participating in a big tag team battle royal to determine who number one contender. Now, the Young Bucks are going to be in it, and if they win it, they can then choose who their opponent's going to be. And at the end of the show, Matt Jackson suggested, hey, if we win this thing, which they totally will, we can choose whoever our partners can be. And they looked over at Gallows and Anderson, the deviled eggs. Yeah. So, and then they all too sweet on that note. So How do you see this playing out? This is kind of their A storyline, this whole Elite, Impact, Kenny, and now Mox is getting roped into it. You got Pac and Penta being roped into that with their 6-man tag. How do you see this this Young Bucks, this whole Battle Royal thing going down, man?
Well, I think you got it right. I think the Young Bucks are going to win it. They're going to call out the Good Brothers. It's an interesting dynamic when Kenny and Don Callis aren't around. It seems like the Young Bucks and Good Brothers get along great. They had great
Just
chemistry
like that,
in the ring. They basically had a PWG match in the main event of Dynamite with the Good Brothers involved. It was, like as far as tag team battles, it was that good and that creative.
Yeah, it was really good.
So, I guess based on what's presented to us thus far, it seemed like Kenny, Callis, Good Brothers all on the same page. Now it's entirely possible that's still the case. But I like the little wrinkle where when it's the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers, without Don or Kenny there, it's like the old days, They get along. They make each other laugh. Fantastic chemistry in the ring. But once Kenny and Don are involved, and that's when everything goes to hell.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Young Bucks are just sort of, playing nice with the Good Brothers because they know that ultimately they got to deal with this Kenny Don Callis situation, and they obviously hate Don Callis. I think maybe more than they care to be friendly with the Good Brothers, and so they're just biding their time, perhaps.
Here's another angle. Maybe, and I don't really have any evidence to back this up, but maybe it's also, or it could also be a situation where the Young Bucks have such extensive history with the Good Brothers that maybe they think, okay, well, with Callis here, we can't get to Kenny. We can't try to talk some sense into him. The Good Brothers are here. We've known these two guys for a long time. We have history. When Callis isn't there, let's take advantage. Let's try to rekindle that friendship. And maybe by doing so, pull them away from Kenny. I mean, one thing AEW does really good in their storytelling is the interpersonal dynamics. They usually do a really good job of that. I mean, like that's been Hangman Page's story for months now is him dealing with other people essentially, and not being very good at it. And so, granted, we haven't seen anything to that extent, as in Young Bucks are maybe trying to forge or reforge their friendship with Gallows and Anderson in an attempt to pull them away from Kenny and Don. But I think, given their history and how they've booked stories in the past, it could be a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things. The only other tag team that's sort of roped into this tangentially that could play a factor in it is, of course, I guess maybe Pac and Phoenix. I'm sorry, Pac, Phoenix, and Penta. In which case it'd be
potentially Private Party too. Private Party is involved in this Impact AEW thing. I mean, I don't think. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
I'd be surprised if they were number one contenders for both the Impact and the AEW tag titles, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it just sort of feels that the Young Brothers. Young Brothers. I'm so thrown off right now.
Pluck by Steve out of his usual environment, put him someplace else, and he's all thrown off. No, I understand. Horrible. I feel the same way whenever we go to the in-laws and I have to do a show from there. I'm like this. I have my stuff. This is all the same exact stuff that I have in front of me now. It's just not these same four walls around me. And it could be a little. It takes a while to get used to.
Yeah, seriously. So I think because I also have on my mind, it's like, okay, my phone has 56%, which should be enough because it's a newer iPhone, so it should be fine. But your your voice, and I keep on telling myself he's fine because he's the one recording it from his house.
Yeah.
So you sound fine. It's just, to me, you're a bit on the digital side. And I don't want a situation where I'm going to be talking. I'm like,
yeah.
And you're sitting there waiting for me to come back. Anyways, let's just hop into the show and maybe we'll have some thoughts along the way.
But hey, we're certainly going to have some fun. How about that, Steve? Let's have a good time. So the show kicked off with Eddie Kingston taking on Lance Archer. Grudge match. I, like a lot of people, turned this show on with this match about to start, and then I saw nothing.
What the heck?
Tony Khan apologized about it on Twitter. I saw. I was watching on TNT. I switched over to Xfinity. It was working fine there.
I had to call I had to text my cable support, Larson, and be like, hey, Are you watching the TNT app? You're like, yeah, I'm on Xfinity. It's working fine. Oh, okay. I couldn't think of that myself.
And look, you called me. It saved you 3 hours. Last time you were on hold with your internet provider.
Oh my God, I know.
You're on the phone for 3 hours. See, you didn't have to talk to anybody.
Forever.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a really fun match. In the end, Butcher, Blade, Bunny got involved. So Archer's got the upper hand. He hits a huge Uranagi. Does the old school into the moonsault. That's so great. He does the Iron Claw thing where he's starting to slam Eddie's head onto the mat. Butcher and the Blade walk out on the stage. They're dragging Jake the Snake with them. Bunny jumps the guardrail, hands Eddie like brass knuckles, essentially, like taped up something.
Packed fist.
Yeah, packed fist. And so Eddie, this was great, hits Lance Archer, not with a punch using that, a spinning back fist.
Yeah.
Loved it.
My favorite move.
To get the win afterwards, Kingston family hits the ring. Eddie hits Lance with another spinning back fist. So a much-needed win for Eddie Kingston. I'm sure Lance Archer will get his win back at some juncture.
A pretty clear. I mean, this has been happening now for a little while. Whenever Archer comes out to make a save, it's like, oh, this is babyface Archer, huh? So it's like this is a pretty clear babyface loss for Archer, with the Jake Roberts being put in peril. And I love it, man. Archer doing all those really fun babyface moves, like you mentioned, the old school moonsault. I thought that was great.
Oh, it was great,
I'm all about Archer, man. I think he's terrific.
He is terrific.
Kingston's great too. And like you said, good win for him, because one-on-one cleanly, like Archer just looks like a stud, and Kingston's out there looking like Steve just put on a singlet and some pants.
Yep.
And he was able to pull out the win. Good stuff. Looking forward to seeing more from these guys.
Same. After that, we had a Mox promo. He's like, all right, I think I get it. The Young Bucks are tag champions. They're friends with Kenny, but he's friends with the Good Brothers. They're Impact tag champs. So they're all one huge happy family. He's like, no, I don't think that's all going to work out. Then over here, there's Death Triangle. They don't like any of the other guys, and they don't like me either. And he goes, here's the thing. I'm a simple guy. I like my coffee hot, my beer cold, my water room temperature. I like to have sex in the morning because it's a good way to start the day. He doesn't overcomplicate things, which is why he loves a good six-man tag match. So he tells Phoenix, he tells Pac, saddle up. Doesn't know it's going to happen at beach break, but it's going to be wild.
Yeah, like sex in the morning. I wonder if do you think they brush their teeth first? Like it's kind of like morning breath is kind of off-putting. I'm a big olfactory guy.
You got a strong sense of smell, huh?
Yeah, dude. Anyways, let's see here.
So after that was
Sting and Darby Allin.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
I got this. It was great because it was short.
Yeah,
kind of liked it. Sting wasn't too goofy, so he talked first. He said, very sarcastically, he was like, "Team Taz, my feelings are kind of hurt because you called us hoodlums."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Darby, you are a hoodlum. And Darby gets up, in the streets. Doesn't matter if you play clean or dirty. It's all about survival. I'm a hoodlum. And then he like throws the skateboard through a window because they're like on this like street tough set, right?
Yeah, it looks like an old loft or something like that.
Yeah, he says, I am a hoodlum, no different than you. And he looks at Sting, and Sting says, Sting goes to a window, bashing with his bat, and he comes over and he says, yeah, there's a revolution in the streets. It's going to be showtime.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get Joker Sting for the street fight.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I just want them to have like a clear as day body double for Sting during the action bits, where it's a dude with like flowing black hair. It's like idealized Sting.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You get like Brian Cage. Now he's going to be in the match.
Yeah, he's in the match.
You get like Archer to put on a Sting outfit.
6'6"
with like a
giant mohawk braid thing going.
Just make it super obvious that it's Sting.
Oh no, Wardlow. Get Wardlow.
Yes, perfect. Wardlow Sting.
Speaking of Wardlow, Jericho and MJF taking on the Varsity Blondes next. Basically, all of the Inner Circle join Jericho and MJF ringside. MJF, before the match starts, like grabs the mic and goes, "Hey, Sammy, we need to talk after this match. First of all, second, Griff, last time I saw you, I embarrassed you. Let's just skip the formalities. How about you just say you quit? We end this right now." Instead, Griff clocks him. MJF.
I like the lens on this thing. Look at that. Look at how big my fist looks. Look at that.
Oh, I'm not watching on the thing. Hold on.
Look at this. It's like a
oh, look at that.
zoom right here. Look at that.
Here really stretches space. It's like the camera they use on SmackDown.
Exactly. It's my 8K camera.
There you go. There you go.
The front-facing iPhone 8K camera.
So MJF is getting worked over by Griff and Pillman. He rolls out of the ring. He gets the chair. Here's a detail to pay attention to. Who holds MJF back from using the chair? Santana, Ortiz, Hager.
Yeah. Not
so they're like,
doing it.
They're like, hey, don't do that. So MJF gets in, tags Jericho. Varsity Blondes go another run. You go to commercial, we come back. Griff's going on a run then, hits a double spear, gets a 2 in MJF. Pillman follows the drop kick. When he's selling that, MJF gets a tag to Jericho. Pillman goes for a springboard. Jericho drops him with the Judas effect. And I'm sure this was entirely purposeful. He hits a picture-perfect line salt, stares at the camera during the pinfall, as if to say, I can still do this.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, because everybody was shitting over his lion salt last week.
Where he about landed on his head, so Inner Circle gets the win. More with MJF and Sammy later. Next, Pac promo. He accuses Kenny of taking liberties, acting like he owns the place with that clown, Don Callis. He's like, hey, we all saw what you did to Penta, but at Beach Break, bring your good brothers, because he and Phoenix are going to exemplify the meaning of brotherhood.
Yeah. So after that, we had Cody, who's Shivani. Yeah, Shivani calls out Tony, says it's time to respond. Did they actually play the Shaquille O'Neal
they did.
bit?
Right before this.
Okay, they did. Okay.
They did.
All right, because it had been weird. They did. So, anyways, Cody comes out. Arn's with him. He says, "So I was gonna say it was gonna be me and Brandy versus Jade and Shaq March 7th, but I can't say that now because Brandy is having my baby." But he says, "In these moments when I'm distracted, I defer to the enforcer, Double A Arn Anderson, not Stevie Bradley, Arn Anderson enforcer, because he's always right." And so he spoke to Tony Khan. Arn, what happened there? Arn goes on a pretty long rant about it. He's like, well, you're about to be a dad. Whoa, that was Stone Cold.
That was Stone Cold.
You're about to be a dad, and that should be on your mind because it's important, you dumb son of a bitch. Walk me through that. So June 29th, he said, June 29th, 1985, I saw your dad crawl into the ring with Tully. Fight 35 minutes. Fly to praying cross country to see the birth of you.
Well, it's funny because Arn asked Cody, he's like, hey, June 29th, 1985, that ring a bell? And Cody's like, no. Does he not know his own birthday?
If somebody said, hey, Steve, you know what does September the 8th, 1978 mean to you? I'd be like, well, it's the day I was born. Why are you bringing that up?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I thought about that too afterwards. So, anyways, he said, if you do this on March 7th, do it with no regrets. Arn starts a ramble bit here. He sort of talks up about Shaq in his prime, how dominant he was. He says Jade dominates whatever room she steps in, and then Arn says, you're going to need somebody with you. And then Red Velvet comes down. He says she's got fire, you got fire. Red Velvet says, I'm tired of Brandy being attacked, I'm tired of me being attacked and seeing Brandy get disrespected. Cody, everybody knows Cody won't lay a hand on Jade, but I'm Red Velvet, and I'm about to stir your bitch ass up. Of course, JR says, she just said bitch ass. That's how you know she's serious. Thanks, JR. After
that, we had a Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford wedding video package. Of course, they're getting married next week. And Miro, I thought he only really spoke about 10 seconds worth of this, but he was great. I feel like he's getting a great bit of delight teasing Chuck Taylor about being his butler. He really seems to relish it.
I think it'd be awesome if Miro attacked the wedding. If he attacked Kip and Charles. Oh man, how did I get roped into this? This is awkward. What am I supposed to do now? Oh, I probably got froze. Did I get frozen?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that.
You're okay now. You're okay now.
So, anyways, I want to see Miro attack the wedding and go heel on Penelope and Kip. If for no other reason, then every time we've rated Miro, he's like super cool about it.
I know.
But we heard a rumor that Cultaholic rated Kip, and he was none too happy about that here on the Twitch. I don't know. That's just a rumor. That's just rumor and speculation.
Well, it wasn't a rumor. Next match, Hangman Page versus the Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth.
This guy looks so familiar, and I can't put my finger on it.
Sounds familiar too.
It's Dolph Ziggler's brother, who
sounds,
literally just looks like Dolph.
It sounds exactly like him.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hangman pretty much dominated this match.
Yeah. This one as expected. Hangman doled out like 1,000 different kind of lariats and clotheslines. Got the win with a buckshot afterwards. So during the match, Matt Hardy comes down to ringside. It starts kind of rooting Page on. Afterwards, Hardy and Shivani get in the ring, and Matt Hardy starts to make his pitch. At the end of which he says, hey, Page, you deserve to be happy. You've been dressing in the small little room next to catering off the side by yourself. I have a large dressing room. Feel free to use it whenever you want. Basically said no strings attached. No obligation, I think he said. So I like this idea of everybody understanding and realizing how great Page is and are trying to recruit him. But part of it is he has yet to realize how great he is,
Yeah, and I wonder how that's all going to go down. Because as we know, Matt Hardy is a bit. This is not my words. Tony Khan's words. He's a carny.
It's carny.
And I feel like at this point, where the Dark Order had pure intentions, Matt Hardy is going to try to manipulate. I think it's a fun story that you can tell with Page, because it's like, man, I didn't put my trust in these Dark Order guys, and it hurts. And now I do put my trust in this Matt Hardy guy, this legend, and that's going to end up backfiring. And so further and further he'll tumble. I like how they're taking the scenic route with this Hangman stuff.
Same. It's been fantastic. So we had heard that this Dax Harwood Jungle Boy match was pretty good heading into tonight's Dynamite, and it delivered, man. This is in terms of pace, this is the kind of wrestling match I like, because it never let up. And even the moments where they were taking a bit of a breath in the ring, you always go cut ringside to where Tully and Cash are handcuffed to Luchasaurus. That whole dynamic playing out, because Tully and Cash were just like, we just want to get involved so badly. It's like, we want to get involved, we want to distract, we want to help, we want to lay out Jungle Boy, and they can't do it because Luchasaurus is huge. So before the match began, there's a video package explaining what led to this handcuff stipulation. There's that promo or the interview bit last week. Since then, they add the handcuff thing. Story early on was Dax overpowering Jungle Boy using his strength advantage. At one point, Jungle Boy evades the charge. Excuse me. Dax gets posted on the ring post. Jungle Boy starts working over Dax's arm. Excuse me. Guess I'm talking too much. At one point, Dax hits a great slingshot powerbomb that earns up a 2 count. Puts Jungle Boy in a full Nelson. Jungle Boy escapes that, hits a backstabber, German suplex, and another German suplex. Goes for a third. Dax elbows out of that. Jungle Boy responds with a clothesline. Dax escapes the suplex and then hits DDT, gets a 2 count. There's just so much great back and forth with someone to hit a move. They counter with another move. They'd sell for a bit, back to it. Just a lot of really fun stuff. Towards the end. So, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, I was going to say I appreciate the story they were telling too. It's very old school, but they were telling it really, really well. The whole Dax does the shoulder spot, and Jungle Boy is able to take advantage of that. But yeah, this is like the most solid match I've ever seen with Jungle Boy. I thought that was great.
So towards the end, Dax puts Jungle Boy on the top rope. Jungle Boy fights him off, hits a crossbody off the top. Dax rolls through for a cover, gets a 2. Jungle Boy then rolls him up to get a 2 count of his own, and then what follows with a bunch of roll-up attempts. The final one, Dax kicks out Jungle Boy right into his version of the STF. I believe they're calling it a snare trap, or the snare trap. So at this point, Cash and Tully are like trying their damnedest to pull Luchasaurus over the ring to help Dax out. Jungle Boy kind of transitions into a bit of a crossface too. Dax has to tap. And so Tully and Cash are freed from the handcuffs. As soon as that happens, Tully has a handful of powder he throws in Luchasaurus' eyes. Cash rams him into the ring post. FTR proceeds to beat the hell out of Jungle Boy. And then Tully helps FTR hit a spike pile driver on Luchasaurus. Then they handcuff Luchasaurus to the ropes. Tully hands Dax some scissors, and Dax cuts the horns off of Luchasaurus' mask.
Oh, it was rough. And then Marco and SCU and Top Flight make the save. So after that, we had a Team Taz was outside. Taz starts talking. He sort of takes issue with them. Oh, wow, we're on the first name basis now. Is that what you're saying? We're in first name. Hey, you know me so well. They sort of meander about. They see a merch stand selling Sting merchandise and Darby Allin merchandise. This is good AEW merchandise. And they decided to go and destroy it. And everybody that's all selling stuff, which is all like probably Dark All-Stars. It was kind of great because Brian Cage like lawn darts a dude like Kevin Nash did to Rey Mysterio. Yeah. And Ricky Starks just picks up a dude, tosses him in the air, and he goes flying through a table. And then Taz just punctuates it with, I don't know what he said. Hey, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I thought,
first name basis. Yeah,
it's pretty good. Pretty good. After that, Britt Baker versus Shanna. A fun match. Really fun match. Early on, Shanna hits the Enziguri basement drop kick. Goes for a basement drop kick, sorry. Reba pulls Britt out of the way. Britt lays into her from behind with the forearm, tosses her into the barricade, rams her into the apron, hits a sling blade on the floor, and she starts working over Shanna's arm. Britt goes for a neck breaker. Shanna escapes, rolls up Britt, gets a 2, but Britt right back on the attack. Upper hand, go to commercial, come back. Shanna has the advantage now for a bit. However, Britt escapes a double underhook, hits the super kick, swinging neck breaker, gets a 2. Then Britt calls for the glove. Reba puts it on her. Britt's looking for lockjaw. Shanna rolls her up, gets a 2. Shanna hits a stunner, follows with a basement drop kick. Shanna sets up for a tiger suplex. Reba gets on the apron to distract the ref, so Britt escapes the suplex attempt, sinks in lockjaw. Shanna taps. Afterwards, Britt stomps Shanna and then puts lockjaw back on. Thunder Rosa runs out to make the save. Britt and Reba get out of there.
Correct. After that, we had Sammy and MJF backstage. So MJF is trying to talk to Sammy. MJF says, he said, hey, dude, last week I never asked Wardlow to get involved. In fact, I was upset that he did. I docked his pay, no pay for Wardlow last week. And Sammy's like, no, I'm not having it. Look, dude, the others don't see this. I see through it. You're a manipulator. Nobody else sees it. MJF says, are you sure you want to play it this way? Sammy says, I'm not playing. And so like you mentioned earlier, alluded to, it's clearly going to be MJF, Hager, and
XLAX.
And XLAX, yeah. And whatever MJF has planned, because he can't for the life of him convince Sammy, hey, he can't manipulate Sammy. Sammy sees through this stuff. So, so yeah, interesting stuff. And Jericho is completely oblivious to this entire thing.
100%. Next, they announced some matches for Beach Break next week, but amongst the announcements was that Serena Deeb will be taking on Riho in the Women's Eliminator Tournament, and they said that this match was going to happen on the U.S. side of the bracket. So I don't know if there's going to be a U.S. side of the bracket and a Japanese side of the bracket. Don't know. But it remains to be seen, I guess, until we see the bracket in full. All we can do is
see
speculate.
the bracket. Want to see the bracket.
Without the bracket, we won't know.
Where's the bracket?
Looking for that bracket. Next, Good Brothers, Young Bucks, doing an interview. Anderson says if they're going to go, they're having a full-on Bullet Club party. Doc just says a bunch of crazy stuff. He's hyped for this match next week. And the Young Bucks are like, yeah, we're cool with all this so long as Don Callis isn't around. And Doc says, well, like, hey, we took out Penta for you, and that was Don's idea. And then Kenny walks in. It's like, hey, what's the deal? What's going on here? Then Callis walks in with a bandage over his face.
It is like the most ridiculous,
barely
like
hanging
overdone.
On, yeah. And Don is accusing Matt of assaulting him. And Matt's like, oh, I didn't do that. And the Young Bucks music hits. They walk out to the ring, and we get the Young Bucks, Good Brothers versus the Dark Order. Mentioned earlier, this is basically a PWG tag match. On national television. A lot of fun. The chemistry between the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers was off the charts. I was waiting for some moment where that would fall apart, but it never did. It didn't happen. It's like they worked seamlessly together the whole time.
Yeah. And it even it finished up with the Elite. So all 4 members do a 2 sweet super kick party on Grayson, finish him off with a magic killer and a Meltzer driver for 3. But yeah, they were all on the same page the entire time. And then I mentioned this at the head of the show. Matt gets on the mic, talks up the Battle Royal next week, says they win, they get to choose who they wrestle. And said it could be anybody as they turn to Gallows and Anderson. And then they all 2 sweet on that. Then Ray Phoenix comes out, attacks the Young Bucks. Mox comes out, sends Gallows out, and then Phoenix gives Gallows the most ridiculously forceful.
Oh, it's like he was shot out of a cannon.
Suicide dive, and he just sort of landed. I was like, dude, you're gonna break your ankle in that barricade, but he just sort of ends up landing on it. He just does this, and then Kenny runs in at Mox. Mox drops him with Death Rider paradigm shift.
It was a hell of a sell by Kenny, though. He was somehow standing on his head for it felt like a good 10 seconds.
Amazing sell job.
It was great. There was a great moment early on in this tag match where John Silver gets tagged in. He's calling in Doc Gallows. He's like, I want the big guy, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really great.
That was great. So Gallows tags in, starts teasing Silver about being so much shorter. Anytime John Silver just goes on a run of offense, it's so much damn fun. He gets
a lot of fun.
So many moves in such a short amount of time, and everything is crisp.
Yeah. It's great because he's like cruiserweight, obviously cruiserweight size, but his persona is obviously not cruiserweight. He doesn't. He was trying to outmuscle when Gallows is coming in. He does this stuff. It's all great.
Oh, John Silver's great. Yeah. Anyways, really fun match, really fun episode of Dynamite. You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, I understand we're having some troubles with our Twitch live stream. We're having some Rawgate technology issues.
Our apologies.
It happens from time to time when we get thrown off from our regular schedule. Blame the bad weather out here. It tends to happen. If you guys missed any of this, hate to ask you to rewatch something, but it's going to go up as I'm assuming you're recording this locally.
Absolutely,
right? Yeah. Okay, awesome.
What is this, amateur hour? I only don't record when we're doing a bonus episodes. That's when I don't record.
I'm just making sure. So yeah, anyways, let's answer some questions. I got a question thread up here on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Let's see here. All right. Opening up with let's see here. Okay, James Fletcher wants to know Moose debuts in AEW. What is his feud and what's the story? Who would, if Moose, I'm assuming he means when Moose's contract is up in June or this summertime. Let's say he does make the switch over to AEW. Who does he feud with first?
Lance Archer.
I like that. You know what I think he should do?
Matches.
What about this? How about this? So summertime, we're basically on the road to All Out, which is in September, early September, late August, whatever.
Yeah.
What if Moose you can tell some long-term stuff here. Moose, having learned to get his edge back from EC3, has a feud with Hangman in order to get him to the next level for All Out with his title shot.
Interesting.
Moose helps him with his I mean, let's be honest. Who else would you, in wrestling, in kayfabe, would you want to take them under your wing? I say Moose.
That's a good idea. Good idea.
You need to learn your edge. He sort of talks like Nandor.
Jorge D says, with AEW and Impact working together, when are we getting a 6:30 AEW Women's Division match crossover with Steiner Math? So there's two certainties in your wrestling week. Yeah. On Impact 6:30, you're getting the Steiner Math promo.
Yeah.
Around 6:30 on AEW, you're getting a women's match.
Yeah, it was a little bit earlier, but it was just a tiny bit earlier. But it was there.
It was 6:26. I checked the time.
You must be one of them women that love romance.
Rager World with a bit says a bit a day keeps the Rawgate mutant away. Thank you very much, Rager World.
Jaime Fonseca, which legend would you take from AEW and give to Impact? And Joker Sting is not the right answer.
I mean, it is.
I'd have Team Taz do an invasion
that'd be good.
of Impact.
That'd be good. Zoe Kinrana, who's the cornier wrestler, Cody or Mox? It's Cody.
Cody is so unabashedly corny. I don't think Mox. The funny thing is, Mox outside of AEW is like the least corny wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But like everything, like he's like sitting there like smoking cigarettes and pictures backstage and stuff. He's like in Bloodsport doing crazy matches. But like in AEW, just because AEW, look, man, it's kind of a corny wrestling promotion, not a carny wrestling promotion, but they enjoy a little bit of corniness here and there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, tonight they ran an angle where some dudes cut some dinosaur horns off a dude's head.
Yeah.
A little bit of corny. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's
silly.
good.
It's fine.
It's good. Mox sort of, he plays that up a little bit when he's in AEW.
Yeah, he does. He totally does. Dangam Q, if Shaq had a faction in AEW, who would be in it, and why would it be Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, and Charles Barkley?
Shaq's faction, the Shaction.
Yeah. Well, you got Jade Cargill. She's in there.
Yeah. Who else? Well, okay. I mean, you mentioned, I know he's kind of part of a faction already, although we haven't seen him in forever. But on the first episode of his podcast, Wrestling with the Week, you mentioned that Scorpio Sky knows his hoops.
He does.
How about Shaq, where he says, look, young fella, you're not going anywhere with SCU. I'm the real SCU, Shaq CU. I see you as a big star with Shaq. Come to Shaq Daddy, the Shaction. And Scorpio Sky's like, I'm not going to say no to that. I get to be part of the Shaction. Shaq CU.
That's a good choice.
He would totally say something like that, too. Shaq is the ultimate corny guy. He's amazingly corny.
Yeah, you got that right. White Brownie, should AEW make Revolution 3 hours, considering they'll be competing with the All-Star Game? So it's on the 7th. Is the 7th the Sunday or Saturday? Because it's the 7th and they're competing with All-Star Saturday night. Oh, it's the Sunday. Yeah, they're going head-to-head against the All-Star Game. Wow.
Should they make it 3 hours? They should make it 3 hours regardless.
Yeah.
I don't like 4-hour shows anymore, man. Give me 3 hours and you're good. You're good. Let's see here. Johnny Ralston, if you could change any AEW wrestler's finisher, who would it be and what would you change it to? I don't know there's anybody's finish in. You know what I would do? Just because I think that like Miro, when he delivers that like clothesline of his,
yeah,
it's way cooler than the Accolade. Game over.
I used to like when he did the Machka kick for his finish.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, I would change Miro. Miro needs to get away. You know, he's done a decent job getting away from his WWE from the Rusev days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Miro.
Oh, sorry, I just got a notification on my desktop here. It was probably pretty loud. My apologies.
Yeah, they probably heard it.
Yeah. Last unexpected hero was tonight the debut of Taz's son as an active character and not just a kid in a hoodie.
Not just a dude just chilling there, you know, maybe.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he actually threw a guy tonight.
Yeah, he did. He did.
This was Gregory Fielis. This is how much you guys pop when Matt Hardy dropped reference to catering because adjacent from the hallway page changes in. Yeah, I always love references to catering.
Oh, same here. Love it.
Oh,
Garrett?
Great question.
Go ahead,
Steve,
go ahead.
I'm just going to bust this one out real quick from the glorious Steve Klein. What is your favorite hairstyle in pro wrestling? It's Sonata 2018, 2019.
The Mohawk, huh?
The Mohawk. He was a space crust punk, man. He looked amazing. It was like the silver Mohawk. He had the cool mask and everything. That's prime Sonata for me, dude. Not what we see now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to top that. I'm trying to think of other good hairdos. Man, it's hard to top that.
Sonata's was just immaculate. I mean, a lot of dudes. I mean, you know, on the flip side of that, you know whose hair is like the goofiest hair, but it fits him perfectly? It's Naito's. Naito's got like the worst haircut. And it looks all dry. Like you look at a dude like one of his contemporaries, like you look at Tanahashi, who's got just an immaculate head of hair. It's a perfect head of hair. But then you got Naito, and it looks like he puts on a wig before he goes out there.
Sonata, like, still to this day, granted, it's not the same hair as he had back then, but his hair
it's beautiful.
Is perfection.
He's like one of the most beautiful men in pro wrestling. Absolutely. He might be number one.
He could be. Definitely top three.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a
Tim
really
and Terry Funk.
Oh, gosh. Sonata's a really snappy dresser, too.
Oh, no, he's a great dresser, but nothing beats what he was before. His merch was so on point back in the day, too.
No, I mean, just like his wardrobe outside of wrestling. Like, you see, like, interviews and stuff he does. He's wearing, like, awesome suits and stuff.
Yeah, he dresses like Wolf of Wall Street, man. It's great.
Gareth Nicholas, Ricky Starks turn on Team Taz, or will Team Taz turn on Ricky Starks?
Ricky Starks goes to Team Taz and say, I ain't fucking leaving.
He's got to really sell that moment, though. He's gonna kind of have to, like, skulk on the stage for a bit. And seethe. He's got to seethe.
Some people are posting heck of Wolf of Wall Street memes on because of the GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Oh my goodness. Scooter says, "What will you be able to watch Ring of Honor on Bally Sports SoCal, which is formerly known as Fox Sports Prime Ticket? I can't get used to that name yet. I don't know. I mean, if it's only available in Southern California, then no, because we're not in Southern California. But
we're in Northern California. Moses, can't you watch Ring of Honor on Honor Club?
Yeah. It might,
it's for free on Fight TV.
Oh, okay, but it's not up to date, is it? Is it like a couple?
Last I remember, it was a week. It was a week delay.
Okay.
It was a 1 week delay. Wait, no, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I forget what week it was, but it's like Ring of Honor. Do you need to watch it immediately? Moses opposes. With Jungle Boy's new theme in mind, what other AEW wrestlers would benefit from getting a popular song for a new theme?
That song is going to be massive when they have shows in front of fans again, man. That whole place is going to be singing the chorus of that.
It is, absolutely. I agree. Totally. It's great. It's fantastic. Here's a very specific question. I want to give an AEW wrestler Fine Young Cannibal, She Drives Me Crazy.
Okay.
What wrestler gets that theme? She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh, no one else. I don't have an answer to that.
What about Abaddon?
That's perfect. That's great. Penelope before, that's good. It's not as good an answer as Abaddon. She drives me.
She drives me crazy. Oh, there we go. Dingham Q says easy answer. Signed Johnny Gargano. John faction and signed Fastball as the house band, so they can sing The
Way. Where is she going without ever knowing the way?
The Way.
Let's see here.
Rattlehead says Abaddon needs a brutal death metal song for her theme. All right, She Drives Me Crazy as death metal song.
That's a death metal song.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Dog Authority figure. At some point, Team Taz has to win a feud, right?
Well, it could be this one. Dark Shadow's sake. Not a question, but a fun fact. You can tell when AEW is live or taped. When it's taped, you never see the crowd. When it's live, you see the crowd.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like the tattoo on Jimmy or Jay Uso's arm. Wait, who has it? Is it Jimmy?
Jay has the cross
tattoo. I'm pretty sure now that I've seen so much of Jay's face, I'd be able to tell the differences. Mm-hmm. Like now, Jimmy looks like Wish.com Jay to me.
Joe Horace says, have Mox come out to Dirty Deeds or L7. Wow, L7.
That's a good one. I haven't heard it. What was L7's most popular
And we
song?
Pretend That We're Dead.
Yeah. That's good.
Lionheart says when it's taped, they don't say they're live.
Well, okay, so was tonight taped? Tonight was taped.
Tonight was taped, yeah.
And it's the problem at the beginning when things were like pausing and stuff. There was no live bug. At least I noticed it during Red Velvet's promo. I just sort of looked around the screen, and I know there was no live bug.
Jorge D, this is a good question. Do you think that wrestlers redo missed moves when AEW is taped? Like, did Jericho take his time on the line salt until he got it right? Probably not, because they're still on a schedule.
Oh, it was hilarious that Dax hit Jackson Riker's old finisher on Jungle Boy. It only took him one try.
Perfectly. It looked great, too.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
Oregon Grinder, do you think an AEW match will ever end during picture-in-picture just to keep us on our toes? No. They would get so much crap for that.
Oh, they'd be shit on so much. Half the Dax Jungle Boy match, did you notice half the picture-in-picture was a chokehold, or was a rest hold, rather?
Yeah. Fairly often when they do picture-in-picture, they kind of just do, like, rest holds and whatnot.
Yeah, but I'd never seen it so. It was like basically right when. Yeah, it was like, okay, let's do this, and I was like, is that a shot at WWE?
Sandra, hi Sandra. Sandra's here.
Sandra, what's up, Sandra?
Last unexpected hero. Wouldn't Abaddon obviously get Rob Zombie's Living Dead Girl? All right, we'll do this.
No,
Rob Zombie will do a death metal cover if she drives me crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That actually might be a decent song.
Jeffrey Nerd, the Kingston apron bump. That was nasty when Archer chokeslammed Eddie out of the ring.
Yeah.
Kingston took that nasty tumble. It says, reminded me of Steve's day today.
Dude, man, tell me about it. It was just, I hate just waiting around and not being productive. It's like the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Skee-Ball 27, I sort of think the panning to the wrestler singing Judas is getting old, but it's good when the crowd does it. Anyways, I like Chris's line, Salt Tonight.
It's one of those things where it's like every once in a while it's kind of obnoxious, and then you watch it again and it's like, oh, look at how Jericho, and I know Jericho's like kind of a weirdo, but like, you know, I don't know, it's kind of a nice moment. Is it getting old? They're not going to stop doing it.
No, they're not going to stop doing it at all.
And I'll be honest with you, Judas at this point for me is a super infectious song. After I watch his entrance, it'll be in my head for like hours.
Yeah.
So, like, mission accomplished. That's all the questions I have on the Patreon, Larson.
All right.
So, anyways.
I'm just trying to do something. Says, when are we going to get MJF punching Jericho's wife? Because MJF and Jericho remind me of Jericho and HBK with a little bit of the Kevin Owens friendship in it.
Oh, wow.
Jericho punched Michael's wife, right?
Yeah.
Kayfabe punched.
Well, no, in his book, he said he accidentally did a little on the snug side, too.
Ooh.
Yeah. I remember reading that chapter about that. I think that's what I remember. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Twitch chat, stick around. If we're like not glitching, we'll hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.